Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Big Valley Living. I'm Michelle, and I just finished my first round of chemo, which is Folfiri and Avastin. I started on Tuesday, and I'm going to walk you through what all I've kind of done this week. I may do recap videos. I'm not sure yet, so I'm kind of playing around. But this will pretty much be a recap of this particular week. I feel good, and thank you for visiting the channel. If you're new and it's the first time you're watching, I am in stage 4 colon cancer. This is my second round of infusion therapy, so I'm going to take you through it. I have never really thought about doing it. I didn't think about doing it the first time. But I think that it's important to share with people what all a cancer patient goes through. I've had a lot of really nice comments from people, very encouraging comments, and some people who are finding it useful, some people who are just encouraging, and it's so kind and sweet of you. And I feel like it's a conversation because it's such a prevalent cancer in the world, but especially in the United States. Colorectal cancer is huge, it is on the rise, and it is hitting younger people. I happen to be in my later mid-50s, but it is happening earlier and earlier to people in their 30s, and even rarely now, hopefully, it stays this way in their 20s, but it is not uncommon in your 30s and 40s. And I want you to see that there's a fight, and we can do this, and we can do it together. And a lot of it is to be positive, but also to give ourselves the grace to feel the way we feel. So with all of that, this video is going to be showing some overlays, part of the things I went through, and then I will narrate as needed so that I can walk you through various steps and things that have happened this week. So let's go ahead and move on forward with it. This is all like a new format for me that I'm trying to do. I've taken some shots throughout the week, and so I'm going to kind of walk you through the week. Monday, I got my hair cut significantly, as you can tell. I've been told by the doctor and the infusion nurses and the literature that I read that one of the drugs I'm taking is actually very likely to cause hair loss. Significant hair loss, like not just thinning, but it could actually fall out. So whether or not it falls out, I did not want the shock of having too much hair in my hand at one time. I don't mind having short hair. I grew up with short hair because I played sports and stuff like that. It was a lot easier. So I went in on Monday and I got my hair cut. So I'm doing an overlay of right before I got it done, and then again right after I got it done. Then my husband and I, the next day, we went to, pardon me, we were on our way. So here's a clip of that as we were on our way. I was pretty nervous. We had to be there by 8:15. Okay, we are on our way to the first infusion. I have, you can't really tell here, I have my lidocaine mixture on. It's very sunny in California today.
Sure is.
Husband's driving. Say hi, JJ.
Hi, JJ.
And so we're on our way. Don't get to take a shower for a couple days. Here's the haircut I didn't get on yesterday. I'm happy with it. I just let it dry naturally today. It looks like my curl's coming back, which is nice, for however long that lasts. Feeling very nervous, and now I have to drink a ton of water because I have to go in with a full bladder so that you do a urine test for one of the drugs you take, and you have to have a certain amount of whatever's proteins and stuff. Can't be too high. So that's where we're at. And traffic was abominable in our area, and we were about a half hour away in normal traffic. But my husband found a lovely way to go around it. So we were there on time. We were there a little bit early. So we went through the setup. We did my vital signs, which were really good. I was surprised at how well I slept the night before my treatment started. I expected to be just a basket case and up all night. And in fact, I was able to sleep very well, with the exception of waking up every few hours to drink water and eliminate it because I needed to be well hydrated in the morning before starting. We get to the infusion center. We were the first people there. I'm not allowed, and I don't want to show anybody in the actual medical setting. So when you see me talking throughout the video, it's at a quiet time where there were no other patients in there, or I'll clip things that I can show, but I cannot show the staff, and I don't want their voices on there, just to respect what the hospital and the medical community has asked us to do. So you're just going to see little bits and pieces. I ended up not showing like the second round of meds that they put in me because, quite frankly, it was simply the second round. So I was actually in for the infusion. We got there at 8:15. I was in the chair at 8:30. We actually started at about 9 a.m. after doing some preliminary checks. And they have to do like a urine sample to make sure that one of the drugs is going to be okay based on different properties of your urine, and like kidney function and everything was fine. So we'll do that every time at the beginning. And then I ended up being there until 2:15. Most of the other visits in the future, which will, with barring any types of issues that would delay anything, it will be every other Tuesday that I go in. And those visits will probably be 45 minutes to an hour and a half less in time, thank goodness, because it was a long day. It was about, six and a half hours that we were there. I had my husband stay until we knew that the testing showed that I could start. There was no need for him to sit there with me the whole time because, quite frankly, after they give you your first meds that will eliminate nausea and allergic reactions and things like that, I end up sleeping for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And there's no need for him to simply sit there. Plus, he works full time. So he was able to return to work for a while and then come in and help me get down to the car. He carried my backpack and stuff for me, So that is probably how our plan will be every other week when we go in. And that worked very well for us and for our household. So at the very end, they hooked me up to a ball. It's a ball about this big, and it's inside of that ball is the 5FU, and I'll find the name of it and type it out here on the bottom. So it's a pretty common drug for colorectal cancer. As far as I know, that's one of the main drugs used for colorectal cancer. And I come home with a ball that looks like about the size of a medium apple, and you can actually see to the center of it, and it looks like sort of like a core. So I'm hooked up to it, and it uses like body heat and centrifugal force to feed the chemotherapy into your body on a steady and regular basis at whatever rate that they set it at. I am not a medical professional. I am a patient undergoing chemotherapy right now. So please do not take everything I take like medical advice, because it is not. I am not a doctor. Thank you. And I need to make sure y'all know that. I am just sharing my experience so that you can see what it's like for me. It's going to be different for every patient, and it could be different every single time. I have had this very same take home before, and I responded fairly well to it. So I'm not very worried about that part of it when I come home. It's a little different this time because the tubing that they use is a little different, and it felt a little bit shorter and a little more restrictive when I was sleeping. But it wasn't so restrictive that I could not sleep and I could not rest and move around in bed. So I came home. One of my dogs is probably going to come in the room here. Sorry, but I saw the door open there. I came home with that bag, with the fall 5FU ball bag. Okay, so I just called it it's like a sack that goes around your neck. So I called it my 5FU ball sack. And so I brought that home, and it stays around you the whole time. You can take it off to change, wash yourself up, put deodorant on, that type of thing. But there's no showering. You can't get your chest wet or anything because there's a lot going on here. I actually still have a bandage on right now because they disconnected me this morning. I'm making this video on Thursday, the 20th of February, 2025, because this is the day that I was disconnected from the 5FU ball. So I'm just going to kind of go through the story for you here. I came home, I was on steroids. That made me very, very hot. I also found out that the Erie part of Folfiri, near the end of that being administered, I got a lot of pressure in my head, and I'm going to liken that to like maybe if you're sensitive to barometric pressure and like a storm is rolling in and your head gets a little bit pluggy, or you're taking off in an airplane and your ears plug up a little bit. That's the sensation I had. A little bit more intense, but nothing that was unbearable in any way. And I commented to the nurse, the infusion nurse, that's what I was feeling. She said, oh, okay. So now she kind of knows. Maybe she can share that with other people who've not had it before. That did subside over the course of about an hour and a half to 2 hours throughout the time it was being administered. Like I said, it was towards the end of that administration. And then when I came home, it started coming down and down and down. And within a couple of hours of being home, I felt normal, almost like when you get off of an airplane and your ears pop and everything just kind of goes back to normal. So I assume that that's something I can expect. Also, in my last infusion, which was several years ago, the drugs that I had then, I would get very cold. This was the opposite. I had my lovely quilt that a friend sent to me, thinking I'd be sitting there all bundled up, and in fact the opposite was true. No blankets, thank you. And I will be wearing t-shirts. I will only take a sweater or a blanket in to get inside because I was very warm this time. So each type of therapy is, again, it's going to affect each person differently and all of that. I'm finding that I got extremely warm. In fact, when I got home, I was actually sweating, and I was that way all night. I usually sleep with several blankets on me, and I found that I needed fewer blankets than my husband, which is probably something for the record books and the calendar. So that was a difference I wasn't expecting, and that's totally okay. It also required me to feel like I needed to wash up a lot more because I just felt really sweaty and dirty. I mentioned that I can't take a shower, so the next morning, because I did not sleep the first night more than 2 hours because of the steroids that they give you, I woke up in the morning and I did wash my hair because I was really warm and I was up all night. So I washed my hair in the kitchen sink, and rinsed it off and everything, and washed my face, my head, my ears, all that stuff. My back felt so much better. My husband helped me as well. Thank you, honey. And so I felt like I, was nice and fresh and everything for the next day. And again, I had been up all night. So yesterday was just kind of a long day. My cousin came over and kept me company in the afternoon. We, after, I must mention, after my husband made me the most amazing smoothie, because I'm supposed to make sure I get extra potassium. This will deplete potassium from your body. So he made me just a fantastic smoothie. It had a banana. It had a little bit of unsweetened orange juice in it, fresh orange juice, a fresh orange from my niece's tree, pink lady apple, some frozen dragon fruit, some fresh blueberries, and some frozen pineapple. You guys, it was phenomenal, delicious, and here's an overlay. And that is going to be a part of our daily routine, is to get back into having our smoothies. A couple things that I forgot to add and am adding now is I'm adding flax meal so that I can get some omega-3s into my body, plant-based extra omega-3s, some hemp hearts as well so that I can get a little extra protein in there. And I have a freeze dryer, so I'm adding freeze-dried spinach and freeze-dried kale to it so that I can get some of those microgreens into my body. I may also decide to put in some powdered mushroom that I have, and that will again just add some more vitamins to my body. I want to get as much food-based energy into my body as I possibly can. I'm not going to be eating a whole lot of red meat, if any. What I do eat is going to be grass-fed, grass-finished. I will eat some chicken. I will eat some fish. The fish will be wild or like wild caught. I like sardines. I'm sorry, guys, I like sardines. So I always try and get wild caught when possible, things like that. I will also eat things like anchovies because I like anchovies. And I'll have some fun little recipes that I'll share with you. And if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. But they're just going to be randomly peppered in. I have nothing to share with you this week except for that smoothie recipe. So that was yesterday. My cousin came over and we had a really good time. We had some good laughs. But we cleaned out a cabinet in a little pantry closet in my dining room. And we went through expired things. There was more than I thought, but not as bad as I expected. But I'm reorganizing that pantry so that I have my bean proteins, my plant-based proteins. I'm going to try not to have to cut this up too much. My meat proteins, meaning, the fish. I have canned salmon. I love salmon patties. Found out my cousin also loves salmon patties, and I've known her all of my life. So during Lent, we're definitely going to be enjoying salmon patties once a week when she comes over to visit. She's about one of the only people in my whole life that I know likes those. So we'll get to enjoy those together. And we'll fry them just very lightly in oil, and we'll keep them healthy. And that took us about 2.5 hours, and that tired me out sufficiently between that, visiting with her, and just, talking girl talk and everything, and sharing memories from our childhood. That got me sufficiently tired to actually have gotten a wonderful night of sleep last night. I did have to take another steroid yesterday because I'm supposed to take one each day that I have the 5FU ball. So I have also taken another one today. Again, this is Thursday the 20th. So I took another one today, and the instructions are to take 2 to 3. So, one a day for 2 to 3 days after I come home. So I took one yesterday, which was Wednesday. I took one today. And if I sleep tonight, I may take one tomorrow. If I don't sleep tonight, I'm just going to see how I feel. However, it does help with nausea. It has certain blockers that is just another avenue to block nausea. I am knocking on wood. I have not had any nausea because I have been taking the medicine as prescribed. I have not had to take any breakthrough medication, however, which I'm very happy about. And I really haven't had any gastric upset. I ate something yesterday, it processed quicker than usual, but I haven't had anything terribly upsetting that I couldn't, just handle. So at this point in the game, it's my first round out of 12, and I didn't expect it to be, it's not accumulated in my body yet. Eventually it will be, and the side effects and things will become a little bit more intense, as can be expected. So I hope that this is helpful to you. I'm going to overlay pictures of my 5FU ball sack around my shoulder, what the sack looks like. It zips up. And then I'll show you the core, because I did not show you the ball when it was full. I will take a photograph of that during the next treatment and show you what that looks like. So this is an overview of what it looks like when I first go in. I'm not going to do that every single video. From now on, I'll probably talk more about, how it went, how long it was, if I felt anything different, and how I dealt with it, how my emotions are feeling, because I know that my emotions are going to play a part in it. And speaking of emotions, I got a text from my nephew, one of my nephews, and he and I just really have a very, very special relationship. He's an adult nephew, and he's just a wonderful man. And he and I really, really connect on music and on different spiritual levels. And while I was undergoing treatment, he sent me a video of a group. Now I better turn this down. And the song that he sent me, well, he sent me a whole album, but a particular song really struck me. And I am going to link it in the bottom. I can't play it during this video for you because I don't have the rights. The group is called Bastille. I believe that they're out of Britain, but I can check for you and I'll put it in the description below. And the name of the song is Intros and Narrators. And it really spoke to me. So I'm listening to it, and I asked the infusion nurse to listen to it. The music is very ethereal sounding, but the lyrics spoke to me, especially at the very end of the song, because I'm going to paraphrase. It says, as the cliche goes, history repeats itself, and here we go again. And it is kind of that way. So it really did speak to me. I think I listened to it like 15 times. And I said to the infusion nurse, dang it, I forgot to bring my coloring book and my pencils. And she said, well, hold on. So she brought me this little packet that, people bring in for infusion patients to have something to do while they're in there. And so here's a little overlay of that. So it was very nice to sit there, and I did a word puzzle, and then I started coloring, and I'm just going to color while I'm in there, unless I'm just having, a little time at home and I want to color as well. So that is my first week. I hope that this helps somebody who may be starting a journey. I'm kind of sitting sideways. I don't know why. I hope that this helps you if this is something that you have to go through. If you have a family member who is undergoing cancer treatment, give them grace and give yourself grace. Allow yourself to be happy, be sad, laugh when you want to laugh. If it's inappropriate to laugh, that's okay, because that's a release that your brain and your emotions must need. If you're the cancer patient, I hope you have the kind of support that I have. I have a wonderful husband. I have wonderful children. I have a fantastic brother and sisters-in-law. He is not married to multiple girls. I just have several sisters-in-law between him being married and my husband having sisters. And oh God, I can't believe I said that. Anyway, and then, all of my other relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, friends, neighbors, you need you need your whole village around you, and you need that little piece of everybody. I'm going to leave you, and I will link below, Maya Angelou. I love her. I love her message, and may she rest in peace forever, because what an angel she was. And she talks about being a rainbow in somebody's cloud. And I'll put my favorite time that I saw. I'll link that below. And if you have a minute to watch it, it's a lot of food for thought. And I have time to reflect right now. And I am looking inward and I am looking outward for things that give me inspiration. And I do hope that I inspire some people as well. So, on that note, thank you so much for joining this video. This was an especially important video for me to share, just because it was the first time, and I was in a very, very dark place last week, and I was able to reflect and come back and bring that positivity into my world. And my hope is that I bring this same hope to you, because you can do this, and you can find those rainbows. So please do that. I'll see you later, everybody. Be kind. So we'll see how much we can get pieces of during the day today. I don't know what to expect, but I have my backpack full of goodies. Meaning a blanket, a sweater, water, lots of water, and an orange from my niece's backyard. So I just got scanned. They scan your bracelet every time, and then whatever happens, they scan that in, then they scan that, which is easier than getting that old clipboard out, right? But anyway, so that's the thing that's gonna put everything in. And I'm sorry, I didn't bring my camera or anything, because there's gonna be other people in here, and this is probably the only time I'm gonna ever do this, because it's too disruptive for the other patients. I'm the first one in this morning, and there's no one here, so it's perfect timing. And they got me in a little corner here, nice and comfy, and I can look outside. And I don't have my blankie on yet, because I'm actually not cold yet. Got some coffee and water with me. So yeah, it's going to be a really weird video. And I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing. So I've had all my anti-nausea meds. There was a steroid, there's Benadryl, and then there were a couple, maybe 3 others. And they all block different senses so that you don't get super nauseous and stuff. I'm the only person in here right now, which is why I don't have a problem talking about it. But once other patients get here, I'm going to have to keep it low. So I'm just letting you guys know. So got that, and then she just taped that up there, and then it's very well covered, my port. And so when I go home and I'm plugged into the 5FU, I'm really not that worried about it coming off. It's very well secured in there. I never had problems last time. I'm assuming I won't this time. So that is it for now. I'm actually getting a little drowsy, probably from the Benadryl. So I've already had 2 quarts of water, and I'm going to have more. I've been also told, and I didn't realize this, I really need to drink more electrolytes. So it can be as simple as adding a pinch of sea salt to a glass of water with my lemon, or taking, they make those powdery things you dump into your water, and they have flavors. So I have a few of those to try and see what flavor I like the most. And as far as that goes, that's where we are. So, yeah, I'm getting tired. So I'm going to go ahead. They're getting ready to administer the first chemo now. Okay, hi JJ. We are getting ready to go and get disconnected. My face is red because I just washed it. To go disconnect from my chemo. So I'm going to do some overlays for you and show you kind of what it looks like. What happened was I got infusion on Tuesday. Then I came home with a ball with 5 FU in it. Came home with a ball of 5 FU in it, and I'm going to do some overlays to show you what it looks like. I don't think I got a full ball of 5 FU. I'll show you that the next time. But essentially, it's a big round ball that looks like an apple, and then in the center is a core. And once the core shows and all of the other stuff is done, then I go in and they disconnect me, and I am very well taped up. So that right there is where it enters my body, and they tape up a little, see that little thing right there, and that keeps it warm, and that's what actually feeds the chemo into your body. It keeps the like centrifugal force, if you will, going. So it worked well this time. It feels a little heavy at first and takes some getting used to. If you're a woman, I found that oddly wearing my bra just helped, because I'm older, I guess. I don't know, but I found that wearing my bra helped to keep everything in place as far as the tubing and everything went. So a small price to pay to be home and not in a hospital for 2 days. I will tell you that. So when we get done, I'll be back. And then when we get home and everything, then I'm going to make my video to kind of recap the whole experience.